Hi guys, Ashish this side. So this is part 6 of New Zealand series. In last part 5 I've told you everything which you need to understand for studying in New Zealand, and in this part I'm going to tell you about the visa process, about the post-study options which are very much required for you to understand, about the placements in New Zealand, and work and spouse visa, and what are your possibilities to stay back or to become a resident of New Zealand. So let's get started. Now first thing that comes is we'll be talking about visa. So what are the conditions for visa? If you want to attend a university or a college in New Zealand, you will need a student visa. So following documents would be required for the application purpose. One is a valid passport. Your passport must be valid at least 3 months beyond the period of stay. So this is very important for you. The validity of passport should be at least 3 months beyond your study, when your study completes, right? Second is completed student visa form. So there is a form which is called INZ 1020/1012, that should be completed. And third is application fee payment receipt, if as you are required to pay rupees 11,100 before your interview. So you need to give the application payment receipt. Next is offer of place. So you need to have an offer of place from a New Zealand Institute University. The forms are usually issued after the tuition fee has been received. So once you pay the tuition fee, then they will be giving you an offer of place. Next is letter from your current institution confirming status as a student, study abroad student, that is required. Then health insurance receipt is required. Then you may be required to show health and character certificates to prove that your intention of staying in New Zealand is genuine. So as I told you earlier also, that no government want someone to become a burden on them. That is the reason they take care of all the risks that are possible. Maybe it's health, travel insurance, your stay, funds, everything. Next, 2 passport photographs. Then additional documents may be required during the personal interview. Additional documents may be requested by the interviewer. These may be documents to prove evidence of academic or financial status. So say in terms of interview, when they think that they need something else also, or they have some doubt on your genuinity, they may ask for more documents. Next is your transcripts, diplomas, degree or certificates from schools you attended. Next is you need scores from tests that your college required, such as TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, IELTS, PTE, whatever. And next is you need to give the proof of how you will pay all the educational, living and travel costs. So now let's understand what is the process. The average time taken by the New Zealand High Commission for the visa procedure is anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. So that means 2 to 3 months, depending on the individual's background. So the student need to apply for their visas at least 3 months prior to their course commencement. Now here also the same thing, that if your course is starting in September, then you need to apply in June. As an international student, you must complete your course within the minimum course duration. So if the course duration is 2 years, then you should be able to complete within 2 years, listed on your acceptance letter. Next is, if you do not have yet a job letter offer, you may apply. Now we come to the post study work visa. So if you do not have a job offer, then you may apply for a post. So if you have a job offer, you are already working, but in case you are looking to search for a job, then you may apply for a post study work visa. Visas granted are valid up to 12 months, right? So for 12 months you may stay there and allow you to work in a temporary job while you look for a job in your field. So for 1 year you get an opportunity to explore as much as possible. Now next comes is work permit. If you can work part-time for up to 20 years per week, if your program of study meets one of these criteria. If it is at least 2 years, it leads to a New Zealand qualification that qualifies for points towards an application for a skilled migrant visa. Basically if you are in a long-term course, then you are allowed to work part-time during your study also. It is a tertiary institution and the main purpose is to develop English language skills. You must also have an international, the IELTS overall band score of 5.0 or above in general or academic modules, right? So 5 is the basic requirement any institute will ask you. Ideally it should be 6, 6.5 or above. You may work full-time during all vacations if you are enrolled in a full-time program of study or of at least 1 academic year's duration. If your full-time program of study has a duration of at least 8 months and is minimum of 2 semesters but is less than 120 credits, you can work full-time over the Christmas and New Year holiday period. So in case you find it too overwhelming or some complicated, just stop with this video, repeat it again, maybe you can write down the things or maybe you can research on your own. Next comes is visa for spouse. So say in case you are married, in that case what will happen? So in most cases the spouse and dependent children of a student will be granted a visitor visa for the same duration as their partner or parents stay. Spouses of student on work visa can work full time in New Zealand. So if you are married, your wife or your husband can get a work visa and can work full time in New Zealand while you are studying there, right? So again this details can be changed time to time. So whenever you are watching this video, please make sure that you research on your own on the final details. Next is, however, the dependents of students on visitor visa have no work rights. So those who are on spouse visa can work full time, but those who are on visitor visa cannot work in New Zealand. Next comes the most important part of this overall scenario, and that is placement. So what will happen to your placement? Indian students are used to the concept of campus placement. Okay, so you see lot of companies, lot of institutes selling their courses on because of the campus placement, and you have on campus placement, recruiters getting jobs and all that hullabaloo in India. But in New Zealand there is no concept of placement. Like most other foreign countries, most New Zealand universities have a cell called Career Services Center. Okay, so this Career Services Center helps you to get jobs and help you prepare for interviews. The on-campus recruitment is always driven by students' interest. So they are not coming to you, you are going to them that you need a job, and then they will help you to prepare for that job. Next is companies that recruit through the universities do not offer job directly. So this is also a very important point, that companies that recruit through the universities do not offer a job directly. What they offer is an internship. Companies like to see your work for few months before they hire you full time. So you may get a 3 months or 6 months internship and then you work well. This may be converted to a full-time job. Next comes is the work visa. So if you are a student with an offer of employment relevant to your qualification, you may be eligible for a work visa for a maximum period of 2 years. You will need to provide evidence of relevance of your job offer to your qualification and the proof of successful completion of a qualification in New Zealand that meets the study to work qualification requirements. So I have already told you all the requirements. Most of the time it should be a 2 years full-time course to get the work visa. So with this we come to the end of part 6 and end of this series. I hope that you like this series, you like the effort that I have put in for you to understand about everything you need to understand for studying in New Zealand. Now this channel has a lot of videos on study abroad on all the countries which are popular, so you can explore that. I understand that after watching this New Zealand series you may have a lot of questions on study in New Zealand. So don't worry, in all the videos I have put in the details in description on how you can contact us. So you can go check and write a mail or WhatsApp us with your requirements. Thank you so much for watching this video. if you are new to this channel, please make sure that you subscribe this channel, like, comment, share with your friends or share on social media. I will see you in the next video series on some other country or some other videos. Till then, stay connected.